Hi, I'm Doug Reynolds, a realtor with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate in the Sacramento, California area, and this is your market update for the end of February and the beginning of March. I just do a monthly update, so let's get started here. First off, the statistics for January just came out, and they are as expected. You know, the winter slowdown with the holidays and everything. Typically, sales usually slow down, and with that, since there's less buyers, prices kind of drop just a little bit there. So it was consistent with what we expected in terms of the winter slowdown. Closed sales, the amount of sales in January compared to December, they dropped 17%. And with that, the median price, it dropped from, in December it was at $179,000, and in January it dropped to $170,000. So there's about a 5% drop in the median price, just because of less buyers and the sellers were, having to compete with each other, so they dropped their prices a little bit, and the winter months, the storms, stuff like that. And so with that, with less sales, the inventory has gone up a little bit from about 3.5 months to we're at 4 months worth of inventory right now. So that means if no new homes came on the market, the amount of sales that we're having, that would take 4 months to buy up all the properties on the market. That's how that works. We've talked about inventory in the past. It's actually 4 months is considered historically actually a little bit low. 6 months is kind of that average point. But right now, 4 months, there's not a whole lot of buying activity going on, so there's just not a whole lot on the market as well. So 4 months is pretty good right now for us. We don't want it to be getting much higher, really, for the market. So just in recap of January's stats, very typical for the winter months. It's what we expected. The median went down a little bit. The amount of sales went down a little bit, and the inventory went up a little bit. So probably the same thing we'll see in February, but then as we start heading into March and the spring and everything, I think we'll get away from the winter trend and probably have some stability. So let's talk about what's going on currently right now in the market. One thing, interest rates have gone up, and it's caught a lot of people's attention. For a while there at the end of 2010, I think a lot of people were taking for granted the fact that interest rates were at about 4.5%. I mean, that was just unheard of, historical, never before, and probably will never happen again now that we're away from it. Interest rates in a very short period of time have gone up to about 5% now. It's not a huge difference, and still 5% over the course of history is still an incredible rate. But I think what it's done is it's grabbed some people's attention. Hey, we can't be lazy about this. Rates are just not going to stay incredibly low forever. So I've seen actually now some buyers, a little bit more volume of buyers the last couple of weeks coming into the market. I don't know whether it's just they're done with the holidays, getting going. We're heading into spring, so they're kind of getting into the market, or I think a little part of it too is the interest rates have caught their attention as well too. So starting to see buyer activity has been picking up lately as well. So what does that mean looking ahead? I think once we get through February, because the stats for February, kind of those sales started in January. So once we start getting into March, the spring, everything, as long as interest rates can stay, right around 5 where they're at now, that's the big question mark, interest rates. As long as they can stay that way, I think we should stay, once we get into spring and summer and everything, we should be pretty flat in Sacramento in terms of median price. Probably no big swings or dips or anything like that. So the key, though, is interest rates. So that's kind of the thing to watch for moving ahead. But that's kind of my quick market recap. I appreciate you watching my video. If you want to connect with me, you can follow me on YouTube. You can like my business page, Doug Reynolds Real Estate. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook, my business page, like I said. And you can also find my blog as well. I update it, 4 or 5 times a week with some great articles, stats about the market, what's going on. It's great for both buyers and sellers. All that stuff, my Facebook, YouTube, and my blog, you can find at my website, which is buywithdoug.com, buywithdoug.com, buywithdoug.com. Links to everything on there so you can connect, you can follow, everything like that. If you're a seller interested in possibly thinking about putting your house on the market, feel free to call or email. I'd love to share my marketing plan with you and how I can get your home sold. If you're a buyer just starting to look, I'd love to chat and we can talk about how we can get you going and get you into a great property. Feel free to call or email as well. So hope you have a great month and clear skies.